والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين وعلى آله وصحابته أجمعين. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. سبحانك لا فهم لنا إلا ما فهمتنا إنك أنت الجواد الكريم. وقل رب زدني علما. قال الإمام النووي رحمه الله تبارك وتعالى ونفعنا بعلومه في الدارين. قال وعن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: ما من يوم يصبح العبد فيه إلا ملكان ينزلان فيقول أحدهما اللهم أعط منفقا خلفا ويقول الآخر اللهم أعط ممسكا تلفا. متفق عليه. So continuing with the chapter of the expenditure on one's family members, women, folk, children, and others, as we described yesterday, whoever Sharia mandates that we need to look after them in terms of their expenses and upkeep. So in this very amazing hadith of Sayyidina Abi Hurairah, he says that Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam says that never does a day begin except that two angels descend and one of them says, Allahumma ati munfiqan khalafa. He says, "O Allah, the person who spends, give him more." Right? And the other one says, "Allahumma a'ti mumsikan talafan." And the other one says, "O Allah, the one who withholds, destroy his wealth." You see, so again, the same principle we were talking about earlier, that it all goes against, what we see visibly. And since we're people who believe in the unseen and not the seen, and this is the first criteria of the people of Iman, the people who are the recipients of Hidayah, the people who are known as the Muttaqeen, the people of Taqwa. The first criteria is to believe in the unseen. So this is all taking place in the unseen world, in which we put our dependence, in which we put our faith. يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ. So we believe, when we spend, that we have an angel who is going to make dua for us, that, "O Allah, increase in this person's wealth." And so the angels' duas, of course, since they are the pious beings who don't know the disobedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, their duas are definitely going to be accepted. And as for the person who's holding back, the stingy, greedy one, thinking, my money, my wealth, right? So what happens? The angel makes a bad dua. And obviously his dua is also going to be accepted. And so what's going to happen is, the holding back, apparently keeping one's resources intact, is going to bring about the destruction of the wealth. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us this quality. And this is a salient characteristic of Muslims. And I was just reading in a book, one of our brethren who accepted Islam around the turn of the century, it's about 100 years ago, Muhammad Asad, who was also one of the very well-known commentators and translators of the Quran in English language, who was actually, he was a Jew who went to Palestine inadvertently, and ultimately, a very long story, and he has a wonderful book. I would highly recommend it. It's called The Road to Mecca, and it explains his journey to Islam, which is just really totally amazing. And what is the thing, like many people like myself included, most of us who accepted Islam, we accepted Islam by seeing this type of character. So not only is the person who is exercising this behavior going to be the recipient of the benefit, but it is a means, it is the greatest da'wah, it is the greatest example for people of the world. So he mentions that every house he went to in his journey, all over the Middle East, and this was about 100 years ago, is every house that he went, he was finding himself in the house of his family members. In fact, he said, I felt more like I'm in my family, in my family's house, than in my own family in Europe, you see. So not only is this a source of blessing for the person involved, but it's also a blessing for so many people, Allah knows how many. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us, the yaqeen on this, and grant us these beautiful characteristics, benefiting and ourselves and benefiting humanity by them. Inshallah ta'ala. Wa akhir da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.